Sebastian. Bottom left corner, this little red button. Next to your name on the bottom of the left, there's a little red button. And if you click that, then I can hear you. When we all can hear you.
Ah, here it is.
Yeah,
I
there it is.
just couldn't see myself, but it doesn't really matter.
No worries.
There was something beginning to feel a little funny in me. It was beginning to play with that. I'm going around saying that I love that I can choose, and I choose to be here. But something right now came up with, it doesn't really feel like a choice. It's more like something in me is drawn, and of course I have to choose to sit here, but
so let's just play. What's me?
Yeah.
just for fun. Just for fun.
Don't do this. Oh. Yeah. So I just disappeared, but I don't even have to puzzle it out.
No, exactly. We can't. It's like, but this sense of me, we can see it's not permanent. It disappears every night when we go to deep sleep. It's gone.
Yeah.
And then there's like a kind of a habit of attention that produces that sense of me.
Yeah.
So it's like when we look at it directly, it disappears. It's not there. And if we, it's like when consciousness happens. So in other words, when deep sleep, there is no consciousness. It's just there's nothing. And then the senses become active. Active, that's what we call consciousness. And so the senses start perceiving. And usually what happens is like a cycle of thoughts that kicks in. Like almost every time the senses become active, like where am I? What's going on? What do I have to do? How am I feeling? It might vary a little bit, but something along those lines. And that produces some sense of me. If there's no thought at all, there's just presence. There's nothing. There's no me. It's like, so that sense of me is made up of memories, of a habit of thinking, a habit of attention. It's not real. It's just it seems to exist, but it doesn't. It's just like that. So.
That was
and
just
then from that perspective, it looks like maybe there's choice and all that stuff, and then, but
yeah, and seen from here, it was just my thoughts playing around.
just thoughts playing around, no problem.
So again, so simple to be me.
Yeah.
Wow.
The rest is that which is beyond me, beyond beyond the whole interpretation of
Too confusing.
The definition of confusion is trying to figure out which of two thoughts is real, and neither one is real.
So it's, how did I become this? Well, I just,
you
yeah,
always been this.
I
Yeah.
just turned, I just went back again.
Yeah, exactly. Attention, just stop being busy with nonsense, you could say.
That was why there was also, when this began, a bit of not laughter, but I felt there was something funny also.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this whole story of getting somewhere, it's like the moment that's like the lens or the perspective that's being looked through, um, then there's a me, and you could say our thinking is evaluating if we're getting anywhere, which is funny thing to trust our thinking with being. It's like it's and
Yeah.
it's like trusting the thief with their jewels. It's like,
So now it feels like I'm under the water surface with no water. Thank you.
yeah, thanks. Such a clear exchange. Just, I'm curious if anyone got any value from that. Just cool. Somehow it didn't resonate. If there's anything that you're not sure of, please feel free to bring it. Thank.
It does resonate something, and I also see that it makes me nervous.
So what's the me that's nervous?
What's
You
the
might
me
know
that's
that
nervous?
you might notice that there's nervousness.
There is nervousness, yes.
Okay, so the nervousness can
And
happen from when you could say like a position or some
yeah,
kind of construct is seen to be not that solid,
identifying with the body,
yeah,
some,
yeah, yeah.
but
And then we just look, what is this body? Is it a body? Is it a noun? Like really looking again fresh, what we call body, what is it exactly? It's like a galaxy, it's like a whole incredible, energetic, cosmic dance that's not separate from totality ever. But from a certain perspective, it feels separate and looks separate. But actually, if we look at it in this moment, there's breathing going on, there's all kinds of flow and information exchange. It's like it's yeah, huge. Not independent from the sun, not independent from nature, not independent from anything. It's just not separate.
no.
No. Yeah.
All
So
the
if there's identification with that, which doesn't have a beginning and an end, then talk to me. And see if there's any nervousness left.
Then it disappears. It's
Yeah, absolutely.
there is maybe nervousness, but it's not my nervousness. It's just energy.
Yeah, rearrangement of energy or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And there's still this question, and I'm asking myself, or not myself, just
So let's just slow that down. That asking, underneath it is some doubt.
yeah,
So great. So doubt. Let's just doubt arises. Okay. And so now once we can see, okay, it's just doubt. That's all it is. And then
Yeah.
what is the function? What is the function of doubt? We all know it. We've all experienced doubt. What's the function of doubt?
the function of doubt is to become sure.
Yes.
To yeah, and the system wants to become sure because then it thinks that it's secure.
Yeah.
Sure,
So,
secure.
yeah. And so we're just looking now, can doubt ever bring
Security or
security or sureness?
sureness.
The moment of doubt is uncomfortable. It's like, like it's trying to help us, you could say. It's trying to help us not get fooled. It's trying to help us become sure. But in the future, in the moment, it's just doubt, yes, like not knowing. And the only thing that we really know is that we are. Everything else we don't know. We don't know what's going on. We don't have a clue, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But yet somehow we want to have the correct spiritual viewpoint or something, like this. It's like it's as if that's going to give us something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when I know that, then everything. Yeah. Yeah, what's the function of doubt? Yeah.
It's trying to help us get sure. You hit the nail on the head, it's clear.
Okay.
But it can never work. That's it. It's just trying to help in a way that only perpetuates
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah.
Trying to get certainty. As long as there's doubt, there's no certainty. That's clear.
Yeah.
And the only thing you can be certain of is that you're aware of doubt. There is awareness of doubt, and that awareness is here. That's the only thing in that we absolutely know. Everything else is interpretation.
Yeah, even the naming of doubt is maybe interpretation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And yet there's some value in just, that's doubt. Then you know it. You can start to recognize it. Every time doubt comes, you go, oh, well, it's trying to help you be certain. What a joke. Otherwise, it's like it seems like it's a very important thing. Like if I doubt long enough and hard enough, eventually I'll be sure.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's fun, I think, or at some point in this exploration, doubt has to arise. It's been such an old friend, and it's like, okay, wow. But because it's trying to help us, it's very often we don't really see that it can never help. So we stay loyal to it. So it's a big gift to just see what it is and what its function is, and that you can doubt forever, and that's it. It's never going to bring you anything. It can never bring certain. It's not possible.
Yeah. 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 There's some discomfort with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I would rather be in the sun than in the fog. Yeah, but it's just, oh yeah, what it is. Yeah.
because
and
it's
yet
trying to
we,
help. It's clear it's trying to help, and just it never can. That's all.
yeah, yeah. And maybe in social relations, doubt is trying to help to see if someone can be trusted. And maybe
Yeah,
that's
so there again. Now it's beautiful you bring it up because it is tied to this idea of trust.
yeah, security,
And so,
trust. Yeah.
yeah. So for me, when I look at trust, I see that how I would describe it. Anyway, you can see if it resonates with your own mind. It's like where I live, there's a lot of snakes,
Mm-hmm.
and they for me they're really beautiful manifestations of life. They're beautiful, and so there's a programming like to be afraid of snakes,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also the just seeing, okay, that's an old program somewhere that was, and then you see a snake, and when you look at it, you can recognize, okay, that's, first of all, is it a poisonous or a non-poisonous snake? Second, is it
Mm-hmm.
feeling threatened? Because we're not their food, they don't want to do anything with us. They just,
Mm-hmm.
if they feel threatened, then of course they will attack. And so if they don't feel threatened, you're just standing still, they'll actually even walk right through your legs or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like they don't have a reason to mess with us, you could say. So, like when you meet a person and you recognize they're a junkie. I can trust a junkie to be a junkie. If I think a junkie is not going to be a junkie, it's like I'm not trusting my own knowing, could say it like that. So when I meet someone, like something doesn't feel like there's integrity there, then of course there's a knowing, okay, there's not.
Yeah.
And then if I somehow jump over my knowing and I say, oh, they betrayed me, actually, the only thing that got betrayed was not trusting what I know.
Yeah.
So same thing, you sit down and there's a chair. When you look at it, you see, can that chair hold my weight? Or if it's like same thing. And if you jump over that and you sit down in the chair and it breaks, the chair didn't betray you. This is not being in two. Okay, that's an old chair. It's not, maybe you sit down very slowly so that if it doesn't hold your weight, you don't hurt yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But so really trust has to do with trusting your own seeing, your own knowing. It's not trusting someone.
Mm-hmm.
That's an error.
Yeah. Yeah.
You meet, on a daily basis, we meet people, we meet, and then it's like, okay, they want to do business with you and something goes, that they're offering you a lot of money. If you don't listen to that, usually then there's trouble.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if we go into doubt, why am I feeling it's totally fine to recognize this isn't, there's no trust here, that's all. However functioning is happening in that expression of life isn't coherent, or there's other things playing. You feel it, you know it, you recognize.
Yeah.
And almost every expression of life is going to have some automatic unconscious patterns. We know that. And when those patterns are playing, so also that's something we can sense. You meet someone, you can sense how much identification there is, how much trauma there is. When trauma gets touched, man, of course, our nervous system goes into fight, flight, and freeze, and you know, okay, with that nervous system, there's going to be endless fight, flight, and freeze. And so then there's okay, is that something that where there's an interest to engage or not? And it's totally fine to say, yeah, no thanks. Not really interested.
Yeah. There's still this question. And I'm willing to look in the but while you are speaking, I'm saying and there's still the question is there, and I'm willing to look at what is underneath that the question. Maybe it's more about how to play instead of what to know, and how to play, how to deal with with the social situation, social relationship. I shall say what I have in mind.
Okay.
What is in mind, and it's about responsibility. So people in the little community where I live, they talk about everybody is responsible for their own, and when I would come up with oh, there is no me and there is no responsibility, everybody would that would be really ugly. So that's not nice. And yet at the same time, I can see that for many things there is you cannot be responsible. You cannot be responsible for how you were raised, or for your genes, for
anything,
for many things you can't be responsible
for the conditioning or the trauma you have, or anything.
Yeah. So
see,
and I'm not in the position to
yeah, so you can just say, okay, so you live with some people that are, how can I say, haven't explored as much as you have.
maybe other things, but not this. Yeah.
But not this. So they see through a different lens.
Yeah. And I'm not in the position to learn them something.
No.
That wouldn't be nice. And I'm not I can't say, oh, there is no responsibility, or I'm not responsible, or you are not responsible.
And how beautiful, you know that.
Yeah.
You see that.
And yet I want to play with them and say, okay, yes, it's my responsibility. And then at the same time, I know that it's only maybe a joke that I say.
Yes. So exactly. And that's a beautiful way of actually inviting seeing, is by joking.
Okay. Yeah.
Not getting into an argument, not trying to teach, just, just joking, and then it's playful.
Yeah.
And playing is actually the best way of learning, where learning happens. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So this question came up, and now there is no nervousness anymore with it, and
and I love it, and I love how seeing happens. You see, okay, yes, like a group of people or a field where there's a belief in responsibility. Okay, good. And again, somehow life brought you into a dance, you could say. And So and all then all there's left, and it's just a play, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
fighting. It's not trying to teach. It's not trying to get anyone to believe anything or see anything. It's just
No.
playing. Yeah. Yeah.
No, and when somebody would ask me to do something, I would do that. So there's no problem. I will be responsible. But
Or you say,
am I
yeah,
doing it, or is
but
it a pattern
it's
that
like,
just
no. So here's the thing. Someone asks you to do something, and a
Yeah.
yes or a no comes.
Yeah.
And so if you say yes, with how functioning happens for you, most likely it's going to happen, but you can't promise it because who knows? The next
Yeah.
second there can be a war with Russia, and there's no possibility of you keeping your word. I mean, it's like we can say yes, and then it's up to totality what happens. It's like
Yeah.
it's not in our control. I mean, really.
Yeah.
But if it's possible, you're for sure there would be a keeping of your word. That's it. But even
Yeah.
that we can't guarantee. It's just like,
Yeah.
as far as I can see, anyway.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Hank.
Yes.
Cool. Gaia.
Hey,
There you go.
yeah, somehow here is how to say, I want to add something to that
Please.
conversation, and it's about doubting. Because for me, it looks like, or for my mind, it looks like that doubting is a great option actually when we meet people like you, for example, yeah? or gurus, or teachers, or therapists, or doctors, or to it's a great option. Doubting, does he really, can I really trust this? What he's pointing to, for example, you. Yes, so for me it was very helpful. This doubting, because with that doubt, the trust came. And before I was somehow listening to gurus or teachers that told me, if you do that or you leave that, then one day there will be the enlightenment, or maybe in the next life. And if I wouldn't have doubt,
So it's, for me, it's not about suppressing doubt.
yeah,
It's about just seeing that doubting does not bring trust.
yes,
It's beautiful because someone once asked Ramana, and it's thanks for bringing this. Someone once asked Ramana, how do I know when I meet someone? Because anyone can proclaim themselves a guru or a master, or we see it, it's everywhere, it's happening. And so people do that. And so they asked Ramana, how can we know if this person is valuable in this love affair? And I love his answer. He said, listen, you just get quiet. If something in you gets quiet and it starts to invite your own knowing, then that's a good sign. But other than that, people can say anything. How are you going to know? There's no degree you can get, and even degrees, what does it mean? So, it's like we meet someone, and you can see it's like there is such a tendency in the psyche to look for a master, someone that you can put in as an outside authority. But really, if that expression isn't pointing you at your unknowing, if they're only pointing you at what they know, I would run far away, because it's like
yeah,
you're never going to get out of that they're always going to be the authority. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's like if someone can point you at your own knowing, and in you there's a recognition, oh yes, I recognize it. That's true in my own knowing. Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, I see there's so many models where there's an outside authority, and it seems like there's a certain stage where people are looking for that. They want an outside authority. And at some point, that's why there's this thing, if you ever meet the Buddha on the road, kill him. Because at some point you have to take your authority back. You have to say, okay, look, you know, this was a false. And there might be some sense of benefit even. But again, it's like, you know, this whole idea of getting something, of getting somewhere. That's such a, you know, it's like a golden trap. It's like, it's really getting nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seeing what's always been here, just seeing who you are. Simple.
Yeah. So I would say, if this doubting is a kind of habit, a surviving habit, then it's troubling a lot.
Absolutely, no doubt.
Yeah. No doubt. Yeah, and I know when I first met you, or in the first months or years, I also wanted to put you in that position to be my master or my authority, and I just trust you and everything will be well. And but yeah, at a certain point, I had to kill you, as which was not nice. But yeah,
No, I would say that's part of this like inquiry, is starting to see where there's been a habit to, because look, we were brought up, conditioned, like the teacher was an external authority, the doctor was an external authority, the priest was an external authority,
the
you
father.
know, father was an external. So all of these conditioning. So I mean, it's really well-worn neural pathways, no doubt. And so then, cool, at some point, okay, wow, what I know is I am. That's it.
Yes, I came to that conclusion also. Hmm. Thank you.
No, thanks, guy. Prem Rishi. Hey.
Hi. This meeting so rich,
To the point, huh?
and there's a clarity by your definition of confusion to figure out which thought is real.
Yeah.
And yeah, rich what was spoken. And I would like to sit in silence for a moment.
Yeah, of course, with pleasure. There's some intelligence that's breathing us, that's seeing through these eyes, that's living us, so to speak. Yeah. Usually we're not aware of that intelligence. We're looking through the filter of me and I.
So there's one doubt, Hammer. And this in my mind, and it says I have to things to get things done.
Mhm. So one possibility is, who is aware of that doubt? There is awareness of it, otherwise you couldn't speak it.
I think it's a habit. So
For
I'm
most of these things are habits, automatic, unconscious habits.
so it's not useful.
Well, you know, that's the thing. It's like in this moment, life is living us. Somehow, this incredible galaxy of cells and atoms and viruses and human parts and bacteria is doing its dance. Yeah? Trillions of cells. Some of them human, some of them bacteria, and they all function together in what we call a bodying activity. Yeah.
And more than 99% of this bodying is space. Quantum physics.
So, and I mean, it's when you look at how many neural pathways and synapses and everything there are, and all somehow functioning and doing their dance. And then, you know, an idea comes or an interest comes in something, or like, okay, yeah, some activity that there's an interest in, whatever it is, and the attention goes there, whatever it is. I mean, whether it's to play a music thing or paint or sit still or get a new apartment, these movements just come, you know, it's like somehow.
Creativity.
I mean, then again, who's doing it? You know, it's just like somehow it comes in consciousness. And then you look for the doer and you just find, wow, what is it that's doing?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
I would love to sit with you for a while.
That's true. If there are others. Bettina. Oh,
Hi.
hi, Bettina.
Oh, there's something going on here with your at the last sentence you said if there's something else is here or something like that. So
So whatever's going on, there's awareness of it. So now there's two possibilities. We get busy with what we think is going on and trying to solve that or fix that, or we or we recognize that there's awareness of it, which is always here.
And it gets seen there is a part that wants to understand, not recognize
Yeah.
the symptoms and something like that, but there's a part that would like to understand. And it's the same that
Yeah.
like I see in Esther, and now I see it in me.
Yeah, yeah. We all know it. We all know it, Bettina. We all, it's not, nobody's got the patterns on that one, I'll tell you. Nothing wrong with it, nothing right with it, just to notice, okay, like it, it pulls the attention,
Yeah.
and it seems like it's going to bring something.
Yeah. And there's also, see now, there is somehow a wanting that it should be different. So,
Exactly. So that's what drives the fascination with it, wanting to keep giving attention to that.
Yeah.
And then it's a loop. It just goes round and round. And, it's like it's.
It's not easy.
And when there's laughter, when in this laughter, what's here?
Yeah. What a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and so much effort with all that.
There's so much effort with all that, and it just keeps strengthening that sense of me, of I, or whatever you want to call it. In Australia, with the highways, sometimes, there's a way that you can get onto the highway that would kill you. So there's these signs that say wrong way, go back. And when you watch the attention one to go the wrong way, go back. It's like there's nothing. And that's what's so beautiful in my view about all of us just meeting like this, because somebody asks a question and you can recognize how that plays in ourselves. It's beautiful, it's like, so we just a voice, you could say, for that mechanism. It's like, I think everybody can recognize any of the movements. It's not.
And this issue with the doubt, it was here again, and then, but would I like to entertain that? It's a question. Yeah, there is a part that would.
But, I would say there's a learning. It's like, okay, entertain it once, entertain it twice, entertain, 1,000 times, and just watch how it functions. It's not, at some point it becomes, whoa, that never resolves anything. It can't. Just how it functions.
yeah, there's something with that is coming up now. This the issues thought, but there is another thought in me. I often notice that there is no, or there, perhaps there is an inner knowing, but yeah, the conditioning is that I trust it more than in the outside. That's the
Yeah.
conditioning from the childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, that has to come into view. It will come into view because it's there. You know, you could say
Yeah.
it's been. So it's beautiful that it comes and gets looked at, and it comes and it gets looked at, and however many times it takes.
And I noticed a lot of changes since a lot of years. Thank you. And all the good questions that are coming. And yeah.
Yeah, how much energy has been spent this lifetime in doubt or in trying to do it right, or any of these mechanisms, you know, boy.
Yeah.
As long
And
as that's going
all
on.
right. All right. Yeah, now comes an overflow of gratitude again and again. So thank you all.
Yeah. Ah, Daniela. Russia.
So something came up. When we get out of the way of life, you know, because it's happening anyway. When I, how to say, was
So
up.
rather than saying when, in this moment here,
Yeah.
there's life.
Yeah.
There it is.
And I could observe when there's a me in the system who says, no, don't eat sugar. Cancer cells love it, and all this other thing. My smoking, it's still a theme. I stop, I begin again. It's amazing. So now I said, it doesn't work like this.
Mhm.
Then I get more and more craving to the things, you know.
Mhm.
And now I decided that I live with the impulse. I be aware, don't smoke too much, and my lungs tells me, and that's pretty clear. And I have to move more, but if I forbid myself to smoke and to eat sugar, there's always suffering in a way.
Mhm.
So why should I do it? I mean, yeah, yeah.
It's so, you know, it's like, it's so funny. I think all of us can relate to that stuff, you know. It's like, I just did a water fast for 3 days. I didn't eat anything, only drank water.
Cool.
And somehow came in my mind, okay, that's what's happening. And it's, I can't even say I decided to do it. It's somewhere that was clear that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And friends came over to visit me. I was cooking meals for them, and I just drank water.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was going for this colonoscopy, which I had today. So you have to prep for that, and so it's just like, okay. it's a good opportunity. I've heard about that. If you do drink only water for 3 days.
So you had this
something.
today
Yes, I had that today.
and everything okay?
No, like always, I took out a few polyps. It's not. It's like it's usual for me, which is good. It's like somehow because those polyps have a chance to become cancerous. But
I know.
So it's every 2 years I go for it, and they.
I don't go. I don't want to know.
Anyway, somehow I know that's genetic inheritance, and so in my family, until they discovered that, many people died at around 50 from cancer, and so once I know it, it just makes sense for me to get these. They're not exactly pleasant, and I never get knocked out. I don't take any drugs. I just let them do it, and I watch the screen while they're doing it. They're always amazed. How can you do? But it's nothing really. It's just someone sticking a big tube up your ass all the way up to your small intestine.
Okay. So what you wanted to say, it was also happening that you go there every 2 years, so it's an impulse?
Yeah, every 2 years I go. And,
it's the impulse which you follow.
Well, I know, I have the information that I've inherited that gene where polyps appear. And there's no one knows how long it takes for a polyp to become cancerous, but they do know that it's good to get them out before they become cancerous, because
this polyp, polyp is the name.
Polyps, yeah.
Polyp. Okay, yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
so
somehow that's just how this journey has gone. I can say, okay, I don't care. I don't like the discomfort of doing that, and then cancer can come when it comes. But see, I've had maybe, I don't know, 30, 40 of these things over the years.
Well, yeah, I would go then also. Yeah, that's clear. Yeah, but I'm right to follow the impulses of life.
It's like there is no right. There's a noticing that there's an idea of what would be good for your body. So with that idea, then there's a trying to, cut down smoking, not eat sugar. And it doesn't work. You've seen that, but somehow that's not
I stopped smoking for 4 years now.
Yeah. So
I started again, and 3 months no sugar. So
yeah, so you can see it goes in cycles like that. It goes in cycles like that. And when something happens and really it stops for a while, whatever, it's great.
Yeah.
And then something comes along again, and it's like,
yeah,
okay, you're back in that cycle until again something goes, okay, it's enough.
Yeah. It's like this, yes. Yes. Yeah. What else to do? Yeah. See?
Yeah.
I mean, and who is doing anything?
Yeah.
But one question, because my second brother has also cancer now and is going this chemotherapy way and doesn't listen to me. You go to this coloscopy. If they find the cancer, what would you do? Would you go this chemotherapy surgery way?
I would not.
Yeah, me too. That's why I don't go. I don't want to know. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, so, it's hard to know what you would do, but for me, it's clear. I know I wouldn't go that direction because I've really looked at it and I see, no, that's not bad for me.
Can't believe
so,
it. on.
Yeah. What I've looked at is that usually with cancer, there's parasites. And so, for me, I would most likely go do something natural and get rid of parasites and whatever. But who knows? I mean, everybody's got their journey. But yeah, for me, when I look at that stuff, it's really poisoning the system. It's
I know.
backwards. It's like,
I know.
yeah. So,
I know.
so for me, it wouldn't be an option.
Okay.
But everybody, like I say, everyone's got their journey. I'm not telling anyone what to do.
Yeah.
It's just, everyone has to see
I
for
try to
themselves.
support my brother. I say, okay, if you can believe in this, yeah, but really listen to your guts. Maybe you change your mind. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. I said, mm, mm.
Ah, Shanti.
Hello, Isaac.
Ah, Shanti.
Oh, I'm feeling amazing today. The energy is really intense. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful, yeah.
And your laughter just filled my heart with warmth. I do have a question about the retreat. Because I'm working, I can only attend on a Tuesday and weekend. Is that possible, or would you prefer people?
No, it's totally possible. Look, I don't even call it a retreat. I call it a celebration. It's just,
Yeah.
it's an opportunity to inquire and hang out together and explore. So, just for me, just look and see what works for you, and then you can just see what's appropriate to pay. You don't have to pay the full amount then. Just pay what's kind of figure it out how many times
Yeah.
you're coming. Yeah. So
Okay.
all
right,
is fine. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And thanks for checking. So yeah,
If I could just sit with you for a minute, that
yeah,
would be
with pleasure.
Thank you.
With pleasure. Yeah. And it's like as we rest together, it's just like really allowing the quietness to be there. It's like it's not about getting anywhere. It's not about even paying attention to energy, nothing. It's just the invitation to rest as what you always are. What we always are. Like there is no separation. Who I am and who you are is not separate. It never has been. most of you know it, but during the celebration there aren't these ongoing Zoom meetings. Just so that, just to mention it now. Something you know already, something you know. Bas, it was you that was hosting tonight. Thank you, Bas. Thank you, beloveds, for being here. Love, peace, beauty.